right, let's join me live and let's talk about XPEV, NIO, and Li. All right, there we go. So I'm just opening up the live stream on the other side over here. So give me a second to get the chat up and running so I can see you guys chatting away. And let me hit record over here. All right, so welcome to today's live stream. Sorry it was a little late today. My little one tripped and hit her head at school. I should say my big little one tripped and hit her head at school. And so, you know, I had to go and grab her and make sure she was okay. Family first, that's the whole reason why I got into trading. And I do have XPENG up behind me. It looks kind of like a Tesla, right? Well, I did a little bit of research. Hey, Bat Scientist. Hey, IQ Micro. Hi, Elena. Happy Friday, Daya. So I did some more research and some sleuthing as to what's going on with XPENG and everything there. So let me pull this over here. And I'm going to change the scene here. All right. So we've got XPENG, right? Stock trades on the New York Stock Exchange. Well, they started making cars in June, and they're 266% of 8,500 units. So they were up 266% to 8,500 units. So that means that they did roughly 3,200. So that means 11,700 cars. And they have 705 million shares outstanding. And it went up to $46. That's $32 billion for 11,000 cars that have been sold. That is crazy to me. So I started getting curious and looked at that. I looked at, I was looking at Tesla as well. So let me pull up the Tesla photo. So I got curious, hey, how many cars did Tesla make, right? In third quarter? Well, they definitely beat them. They made 132,000 in third quarter instead of 11,000. Now, even way back here in 2015 when they started, they had, you know, 17,000 maybe. Maybe the third quarter of 2016 they had, it looks like maybe 13,000 there. But here's the thing, that XPEG, let's look here, Wikipedia, yeah, it has been around since 2014. And not only that, but they did fundraising in November. In May, they launched a vehicle for hire company. In November of 2019, they raised $400 million in third fundraising round. So where were the other first two, right? They were raising, all they've been doing really is raising money. And then they just raised another $50 million here with Sequoia Capital. And in August of 2020, they raised another $400 million by Alibaba, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi's Sovereign Wealth Fund. And then they released their IPO, 1.5 billion IPO to the New York Stock Exchange. If you guys haven't checked out China Hustle, please do. Please do your due diligence. This shot up 30%, right? Yesterday, which was more of a short squeeze than anything else because they made 11,000 cars, right? And it went up to 32 billion valuation for 11,000 cars. To me, it's very, very suspicious. And IQ Micro, you're asking me when is a good time to buy them. Me personally, I do not hold Chinese stocks long-term after seeing what happened with China Hustle on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Day trading, definitely a different story. These are awesome momentum stocks for day trading. They were all three were on my list today, and they all dropped from open, right? They all had short opportunities today. Austin, yeah, maybe their factories just opened. However, they've been around for 6 years. 6 years. And they're just now making cars, and they've raised over roughly $2 billion. now their valuation of their company is that they are going to be $32 billion company in, let's see, it hasn't even been 3 months, right? So it's kind of fishy. And if you check out the China hustle, when companies report their earnings in the US, they have their SEC filings, right? They have the 10 Ks and 10 Qs. So when they have those filings, they report it through they have usually an accredited accountant that reports them. Well, when you see the China hustle, you see that all of these companies that were investigated with China hustle found out that the forms that they were filing in the States were fraudulent with the amount of money that they were saying for their earnings, for their sales, all that. And that when they went back and they looked at the SAIC paperwork, which every year a company has to report to the SAIC in China, the valuation, all of their numbers. So when they checked the SAIC forms against the SEC forms, so the Chinese forms versus the US forms, they did not match. The US forms were inflated. That's what happened with Luckin Coffee. It became delisted. There was a speculation, hey, this is the next big thing of the next Starbucks of China. Well, it's kind of like those old real estate sales where people are selling you a picture of this glorious land and it ends up being swampland that you could never even buy on or build on. So are these companies a load of baloney? I mean, they've all gone parabolic. So we have NIO, hey, just trucking along right here, and then boom, all of a sudden runs to the upside. Then we have Li right here, just trucking along, boom, also happened to have an IPO coincidentally the end of July, right? NIO, when did NIO come to market? So NIO's been around for a bit longer. Let's go to all time. So NIO came to market about a year ago. So seeing all of that, right? Where are the numbers? How valid are the numbers that they are reporting? I'm super cautious now after checking out the China hustle. And these are 3 parabolic moves that usually do not end well. Look at this. It went from $3 to $52. Usually in the China hustle, they were up 700% and then boom, guess what? Forms were released. What really happened to these companies, right? These are the people like Muddy Waters. It's Wolfpack Research with Dan David. These are the people that uncover the fraudulent activity. How real is this price valuation, right? We need to find out the facts. So be cautious, please. If you're looking to hold something long term, if it's overseas from another country, please do your due diligence to find out. Now we can see NIO is dropping. Are you guys shorting it as I'm talking to you? Also, we have XPEV. I mean, look at this. XPEV went from 22 to 51. Yes, I had a position in this and I exited it. I have no problem day trading them. However, longer term, I'm extra speculative. All right, Zoom as well today. Let's check this out. We'll check out Solo. I don't know if Solo, is Solo a... So I still have the sale going on my website too. If you guys want to sign up for the watch list, it's down to 67% savings today. And the watch list is right here. This is my list for today. Hold on. Set it up after doing yoga this morning. I hope you guys joined me for yoga. It was an awesome class. Ah, interesting, John. Maybe it's hard to short. So we had Li, NIO, XPEV, all shorts. We also had DraftKings right here, 43.52. Pulled back a little bit today. PDD had a nice run to the upside. It's up at 153. I said, hey, if we can break 141.50, look at that, $12. If you had had 3 shares of this, you could have paid for the watch list for a month. Even 67% off 2 shares. All right, PLTR ran up a little bit. I had it When I say shorts, longs, and shorts, that's more the momentum pre-market of where the stock is going. It does not mean that it's always going to go in that direction, as you can see. And then Big C, Myrna, Blink, and Zoom. So Big C, we have pulled back. Definitely we pulled back down below, had a nice short there. Myrna had screamed higher. We'll go over them as well, but just looking over here on the right, comparing them. And Zoom, $21 to the downside. All right, let's look at Solo. So Solo had a nice run up, likely a low float based on the daily chart. It had a couple days, then once it broke out from the high right here, probably $4. That happened yesterday. Yep, $4, volume comes in and it shoots up. End of day closes fairly strong, shorts get stuck in it, and then we have a short squeeze it open right into the opening bell. Right? Yeah. Short squeeze, open, people jump on it. Hey, once it breaks above 580, that resistance point, more people jump on board, and then it just squeezes the shorts and squeezed them up. $200. Nice ASIF, that's awesome. I don't know anything about this car, so I couldn't say anything about it. Just like I don't know about Li and I don't know about NIO, but I did do some research on XPEV. So I will add it and I'll check it out. Maybe I'll talk about it a little bit on Sunday. So let's also check on Blink as well. So Blink had a bit of a downward turn today. I don't know why they're not corresponding over on this side, but came down and you can see it hit, what's my favorite moving average right here, guys? The 425. And then it pulled back, bounced, pulled back. I also want to be warn you guys and be extra cautious because I started to look to see, hey, let's look at the Form 4s, right? Yeah, I'm here, Mark. Just for a quick visit. I've got a training with some friends at 3 o'clock. So I started getting curious about major stocks, right? And I looked at Facebook. Okay, well, Facebook, the 5th, the 9th, the 9th, the 10th, and 11th, Mark Zuckerberg sold to the tune of something like, I don't know, let's see, 87 million, I think. Also had some selling on Amazon. Yep, insider selling happening starting, oh, look at this, November 2nd, they started selling on the insider. Bezos was selling. Last time he sold in August, but he also sold just before the pullback on the market in February. Actually, he sold the end of January. I think it was about 21 days. Yeah, Christopher, check it out. 425 EMA. You will probably like it. It's amazing how it performs, especially on the daily and 45-minute chart. Nicholas, well, here's the big thing. With Tesla, that is a U.S. company on U.S. soil, U.S. Regulations, and they can prosecute if they do anything wrong. In China or overseas, it's much more difficult for the SEC to prosecute. So we have Amazon. We also have Adobe. Yep, insider selling. How about Pepsi? I started getting curious. I started looking at the top holdings of NASDAQ. Yep, insider selling by the CEO. Okay, let's check out Microsoft. Yep, Apple and Microsoft 1 and 2, right? Well, we had the president and the CEO selling shares off on the 5th. Yeah, not for me either, Mark. And let's see, I didn't do Apple, did I? We still had we had one person, the VP, not that many shares, but still selling at 110.42. When the VP is selling, okay, yeah, she netted 1.8 million, but we're starting to see, or I'm starting to see, that we're having dark pool prints coming through. And if you guys want to learn more about it, come over to thedarkpools.com and learn how to trade around them. Pretty easy. We have a print, give it a couple days. If we go above it, hey, it was buying. If we go below it, hey, it was selling. When we start to see massive amounts like 30 million on a stock, then it's something to pay attention to. And we're seeing it on a couple of different major stocks. That usually means there will likely be a big move in the market, right? So be prepared. I got curious. I started to look at Form 4s, see if they correspond. Probably all the ones that we saw on Facebook probably corresponded with Zuckerberg, although they weren't that many shares. I mean, the largest one was 36,000. But when we start to see 100,000, a million shares, also I saw 125,000 on Amazon a couple days ago. These sorts of things make you go, ding, 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 let's pay attention. There's going to be a bigger move coming. We have a potential lockdown happening. We have Biden wanting to stop fracking. Well, there's so many companies that are tied to oil, plastic companies as well, that we need to keep that all on watch. And if oil drops in the market, many times the market drops as well. So keep it all in mind. Right now, everything looks like, hey, we're coming up, we're setting all these highs, right? We're breaking out. However, look at this over here. So this, oops, hold on, let me go back. So we have the high right here of September 2nd. This was an anomaly. I'm going to throw that out because it was an anomaly. We opened high and then we couldn't stay up above. So I'm not going to draw it up to there. I did draw from here to there just as a potential target should we by chance rip higher. However, we didn't. And so I have the line right here on the high of this candlestick on November 11th, right? That is this trend line right here. If we close below that, we've not been able to set new highs, right? That's not a good thing. That's not a very bullish movement for the index, right? That's signaling, hey, maybe there's going to be a bigger move. Where was the biggest price action? The day that we're now below the top of it, but we're not able to break above this. If we break above 358.80, okay, there's a chance that we could continue to the upside. If we come back down and we close down, you guys know my 425 is my bear and bull, that I'm going to be looking to see, hey, if we start to come back down and we close below 327, full on bear. Get ready, potentially. I'm more in the cash position right now, getting ready for potentially bigger move. Looking at the cues as well. Same scenario, we're starting to pull back. Look at how we were not able to, I did it from this high. Let me lower that just a little bit if I can, there. So I did it from the high here and the high there. Well, we were not able to break that today, right? We tested it yesterday, came up, and we were not able to close above it. Let me open this. Oh, I did 425 there as a time frame. Interesting. I didn't mean to do that. But here, look, we had a sell-off candle there, a sell-off candle there. These are also Brian Shannon's anchor VWAPs. So that has acted as a resistance for us. And that came from this day right here. Then the one that is this purple one down here, all the way down here. Look, we're below that one too. That's the anchored VWAP from all of the volume over the past couple days. Now, we don't have one. We have an orange one here. Let me move the orange one over here. And you can see, all right, well, that is the anchored VWAP from this big candlestick day. So if we were to take that out, right, if we happen to close below 289.32 right here, it might be time to switch directions on the market. Then we might have all of this volume up above us and really watch out. We could easily pull back down over here to this trend line. We would still be in an upward motion. When we look at it on a weekly chart, you guys know me, I'm more bullish than ever. Like I'm like, hey, bull all the way. But we might pull back down here, 272, right? That's a nice 17 points to the downside. We would still be in an upward trend. We would still be above the 21 EMA on the weekly chart. However, it might end up that we have this correction happening, right? And what's interesting is there's this VWAP from, it's a new one that I just threw on, and look at how we have not penetrated it except for down March 23rd of 2020, which was also this 200 exponential moving average. So if we happen to fall back down there again, that could be interesting. Maybe we're going to come back down to 190 for the Qs. Oh, NIO's crashing. Everybody saw my live stream. Just kidding. No, I believe it. It's an unnatural parabolic move, and this is not looking healthy, right? This is when you have such a steep angle in studying for my CMT exam, certified chartered market technician. Those really steep angles tend to fail more quickly. Those are the parabolic moves that happen on low float stocks. You see it on other stocks as well. We're starting to see it as well in the indexes. So, hey, all right. Hope you guys have puts. For whoever had been thinking about shorting Lee, I don't know, maybe you could potentially buy a put. I have no idea what the puts are looking like. But yeah, this might stop here, bounce up a little bit, bounce up to 33, and then come back down and test down to 30.90 over here. You know, ultimately this could come all the way back down to $24, and we might see that NIO comes all the way back down to $36. Broke that upward trend. Oh yeah. So just be cautious, guys. XPEV, this could easily come all the way back down to $28 as well down there. So I'm going to wrap it up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to go get ready for later on this afternoon, and I will see you all on Sunday. Have an amazing weekend. Please be safe out there. Be prepared. If you guys do go into lockdown, make sure you have enough food. You know what, Christopher? Somebody told me to throw it on my chart, and I started testing it out, and I use it as my bear and bull on the 45-minute chart, personally. So that's it. I just started studying it on the charts and watching it, and that's a lot of what my education has been, is studying the market and how it reacts. All right, Carpe Profit, seize those profits one trade at a time, guys. Have a great day.